episode 3 of this beautiful week of outreach. And here we go again. What kind of dynamics will we have today? What kind of fun will we have today? Will we laugh? Will we cry? Let's see, I think right here is pretty good. All right. So welcome. Who do I got here? I got Tessa. I got Lewis. What do you guys think of the title? I thought that was solid. Middle-aged man just yells at everybody, or a middle-aged vegan man yells at everybody. That'll get some people in here. Like I was saying before, hi Clara, what's going on? Like I was saying before, you got to be a little clickbaity to get the conversations going. Because if you're not clickbaity, there will be no conversations. But, once we have people in conversations, that's where it starts. What's up, guys? You want to try a few questions for YouTube? Just test your values a little bit? Okay, have a great day, guys. But that's pretty much all we're doing. If you're just getting here, like and subscribe. That's all it is. And I know it seems a little overzealous. Let's test your values, but I want to pique people's curiosity. This isn't a judgy of the person thing. This is an attack on the argument thing. And it's an attempt to dissemble the argument that we've all been told from 400 generations ago. It's really simple. What's going on, guys? You want to try a few questions for YouTube? Be on TV? All right, have a great day, guys. But thanks for being here, everybody. This is like the 4th live stream this week, and I'll tell you, we've been getting a little engagement, haven't we? That last chat was out of control. Out of control. So today, same formula. We float a little clickbait. We try to get people in here, and then we have a heart-to-heart conversation. Once again, not attacking the person, attacking the argument, and helping people. This whole initiative is against one thing and one thing only, and it is directly against the deceivers that have lied to us 400 generations thick. What's going on, guys? Who wants to try a few quick questions for YouTube? Just test your values out a little bit.
Well, I don't know.
If you got the guts, only if you got the guts. Have a good day, guys.
Thank you.
Hi there, how are you? You want to be on TV? YouTube Live? All right, have a great one. I'm doing great, Clara. Thanks for asking. And yeah, everybody like and subscribe. This is it. This is the new type of pop-up activism. I'm excited. I'm excited to see some promise as far as the last few live streams and to see a lot of curiosity piqued. I mean, the reason there was, so many people in the last one and the one before that, is because, well, for one, some kind of kink got out of the hose via the algorithm. And for two, when people see this, something like this pop up in their feed, they're gonna be curious. I don't care what you think, they're gonna be curious. And curiosity, like from something like this, is gonna eclipse everything. They're gonna come right in here and they're gonna wanna know. So we have to be stewards, we have to be good communicators. By the way, there is nobody in this area right now. I'll probably move, but somebody's in my one spot and somebody's in my other spot. Kind of cool. You see all the same guys here all the time. One guy's singing. You can probably hear his music from here. And the other guy's painting. He paints, which is really cool, really badass. I just can't take up that spot. They got the high volume areas. All right. Are there health issues with the vegan diet? No, not at all. That's a beautiful thing about the vegan diet. You won't have any health issues. Zero. I myself don't take any vitamins or supplements. And you don't have to either. If you're worried about protein, you're trying to get bigger, you can take a protein powder, but just have a plant-based protein powder. No health issues at all. I've been vegan 12 years. My daughter's been vegan since birth. You will be told a lot of lies. One of the core deceptions of our entire society is that you need to eat animals to be healthy. And that's what we're out here combating today, and hopefully illuminating people to the said fact that you don't need animals to be healthy at all. In fact, they make you unhealthy. Exactly. It increases your risk of cancer, um, type 2 diabetes. I did today, UK Night Rider. I topped that joint with as much as it lets me go for 2 hours right now. So if this gets incredibly like just rampant and we get traction, then I'll let it go. Fuck it, full send, ticket me. But I might, yeah, I might end up going back after 2 hours, and that's probably the more realistic thing. I need to get something that will let me. We might have 2 incoming interviewees. Something that will let me elongate my juice. That doesn't sound right, does it? Will let me go longer. Just dig my holes deeper. I need to get something that will let the battery power on the Apple iPhone go for a longer period of time. What's going on, guys? Want to try a few questions for YouTube Live? All right, have a great day, guys. Can you talk about honey? I have a really hard time with that one. I'm a beekeeper, and I can assure you I'm not harming the bees by taking what they make in excess. They wouldn't survive if I did. I get that, but I guess that comes down to an extrinsic value versus intrinsic value perspective. Like you, I guess, have no idea what those bees are thinking because you're not them. So we can make all these speculations and we can claim we're doing what's best, but the thing is, we are not them. It's intrinsic value versus extrinsic value, and we should always err on the side of caution and take intrinsic value into account. I guess that's how I'd answer that. In effect, when we're not vegan, we are effectively saying your body, but it's my choice, and that blanket permeates into every space. That being said, I think there's an uptick, obviously, there from that circumstance to what the 99% are doing with shoring up factory farming and having innocent beings hung upside down and have their throats slit wide open for nothing. Hi, guys. Anybody want to try a few questions for YouTube? Oh my, all of you at once? Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is James. I would ask you your names, but there's so many. It is YouTube Live. Say hi, everybody. Okay, so it's just 3 questions, and it gets right to the point. It's pretty simple, and it's just meant to make you think a little bit, right? Okay, the first question is, do you guys know, or can somebody, one of you, give me a definition of your definition of veganism?
Eating eating products that don't come from animals or animal labor and stuff.
Yeah.
She actually nailed it 100%. So yeah, as far as the animal labor part, well, I'll say you nailed it. I'll say you nailed it, but let me amplify on it a little bit. Take the idea of food. Everybody, take the idea of food and veganism and that how they connect and how they're seemingly connected. Throw that idea out. Try to start from a blank canvas and just think about veganism as a stance against violence. That's it. So when we go to the cash register and we place a vote, like we use our dollar, right? And we vote for something, and whatever we vote for will kind of effectively be the change that we're going to see in the world, because money is the energy. That's how I like to amplify. Now the second question is pretty simple, but just think about it generally. Don't overthink it. Are you guys for or against animal abuse? Right? In unison, right? Okay, so you're all vegan at heart. You all have vegan hearts, full stop. You all have vegan hearts, full stop, right? That's it. If everyone's agreeing with that, you have a vegan heart. When we were babies, we were little babies, we were born vegan, right? We didn't want to hurt animals. We loved animals. We had pets. We were, I don't know their space, but we were taught as the years went by and the decades progressed through generations, 400 generations thick actually, herding culture and the idea that we can use an animal as an object has been around for 400 years. Yeah, if you guys got to go, I totally understand. But this is what we've been told and how we've been conditioned since birth. So this experiment is just to make you think a little bit, because you're all vegan at heart. The only distortion is we're voting for non-vegan things with our dollar. So it's like this kind of like this distortion, right? Do you guys think we need anything nutritional from an animal?
Protein.
Protein, we get that a lot. We sure get that a lot. Iron, okay.
Iron from steak.
Okay,
And,
gotcha.
Yeah, I was iron deficient. So.
What have I told you? Okay, there are. Well, first, I guess I would preface with there's a myriad of plant-based options for iron. Like they're ubiquitous almost. But I would say, and I would challenge that there isn't. And I would challenge you don't need vitamins, supplements, or nothing. And I know that sounds crazy because everyone else is saying the opposite thing. They're all saying you got to eat meat, cheese, milk, and eggs, and if not, you need B12, you need this for iron, you need this for protein. You don't. It's all material science that's being propagated for money. I've been vegan for 12 years, right?
Yeah.
12 years. My daughter, vegan since birth, nothing. She doesn't need anything. She's a martial artist. She thrives. So I come out here and I ask everybody, I guess at this point, I would ask all of you guys, blanket question, what would be the biggest thing stopping you from really aligning your actions with your values?
Sushi.
You're funny. Salsa? Salsa's vegan?
Sausage.
Sausage, okay.
Like food or like a reason. What do you
Like fish, chicken.
The reason is like, what's the biggest barrier? Like taste.
Sushi's my favorite food. So
I would
couldn't
Okay.
give that up. I would say if I only ate carbs.
What if?
Like
Okay.
bread, like for example, like I'm getting my carbs like pasta, and then I eat like a salad
But
or
would you
something.
consider it animal abuse if the animals kill each other to survive? So
Well, I would kind of consider that not really pertinent to our dialogue. Like, there's a lot of things that happen in nature, right? Like, we can appeal to nature in a myriad of ways.
So then, what about our natural desire to be
Yeah, like
full
the
and
cycle of life.
satisfied? Because since like the beginning of time, humans were like killing animals and eating them.
Yeah,
So-
absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of historical context. There were cavemen. Cavemen, though, is a big one. We've been doing it for so long. But then 400 generations ago, this kind of business idea came to fruition, right? And it said, let's take, like what you just said there, let's parlay that into everybody's kind of hive mind. And let's start selling this kind of natural, hunted meat, cheese, milk, and eggs, and have them think we're still doing that. But really what we're doing is we're taking a being with awareness that has like eyes, a nose, and a heart.
So
Okay.
It's basically like consuming meat is like just pure capitalism. That's basically what we're saying.
Can you say that to the camera? What she just said is 100% on point. She just said that eating meat is pure capitalism. And thank you, because that is exactly what it is.
I learned my lesson.
Do you guys, can you take a card? Can one of you take a card and at least one of you promise to look at my resources? You'll even see yourself on TV. I'm on YouTube. Okay, guys, think about it. Think about the animals. Have a good one. That's what we're doing here today, guys. Everybody like and subscribe. We are out here having conversations, fielding objections, and convincing people that eating meat is what's best for their own preferences. Thank you. Welcome to the stream. All right. And I want you to know, people in the chat that come in all vehemently opposed right off the bat, you are not going to say it, but you're definitely going to think it, and it could be at a subconscious level. But you're probably thinking, this guy's trying to take something away from me. Okay, all right, I got two guys. Okay, cool. Why aren't you vegan yet? It's YouTube Live. Are you okay being on YouTube Live?
Absolutely.
Okay, amazing.
Absolutely.
I'm James. It's just 3 questions. It's just in order to make you think. That's it, just to make you think a little bit. The first one's easy. What do you guys think veganism is?
Not eating any meat or meat products.
Okay.
Or anything from
Meat
an
or
animal.
dairy as well.
Okay, gotcha. I want to challenge you. I want you to take what you think veganism is. Of course, what you said there is integral, but throw everything out and just think about it as literally a stance against violence. Blanket, full stop, a stance against violence. And we use our dollar, our energy, to show that. The second question is, are you for or against animal abuse?
I would say
Don't be calculated.
against
Just
any
think.
type of abuse.
Just instant
Yeah,
response.
against. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so you're vegan at heart. In fact, anyone here, I know and that's the
I'm a
initial
sinner at
reaction.
heart. Yeah.
That's the initial reaction, because for generations upon generation, we're all told eating meat is normal, necessary, and nice. Habit, taste, convenience, and pleasure eclipse all things, right? My parents, their parents, their parents, all the way back to 10,000 years ago, we've all been conditioned the same way. Well, maybe not them. I feel like they had a nice vegan utopia.
Get to the start.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, if we're talking 10,000 years, I guess that would fall into that window.
Around that time frame.
But so already, you're vegan at heart. So what we try to just point out is that there's a distortion, and it doesn't take rocket science to see it, because we're going around and we're voting for systems that are not abuse. They're much worse than abuse. We're talking like, what you don't see behind the curtain, the kicks, the spits, the punches, the sexual exploitation, the things that we're not privy to when we pay for meat, cheese, milk, and eggs. So that being said, what do you guys think nutritionally we need from a non-vegan diet?
Like iron,
Okay.
Vitamins.
The last lady said iron. Okay, vitamins,
fat, protein.
fat, herd. What about you?
No, I was gonna say.
Okay,
protein
same.
as well,
Gotcha.
yeah.
We get a lot. We get B12, we get protein, we get calcium, we get iron. Don't listen to any of that bullshit, because all of this is coming from materialistic science, peer-reviewed studies, all bought out by interests. I've been vegan 12 years. I don't take vitamins or supplements. My daughter's been vegan since birth. You get healthier, so you get a bonus. But the main thing is, we don't have to put a being with awareness on the chopping block for something we don't even need. Does that make sense?
I could see your point in doing that.
Yeah.
I just think it comes from the standpoint of, where I'm coming from more so is like animals are for the use of mankind.
Okay.
Not the abusive aspect of it, but the nutrition, the eggs, the milk, the meat, like I feel like that's sort of.
So basically, and I'm gonna just call a spade a spade. So basically, what you're saying is, and I'm not trying to keep in mind, I wasn't vegan for 30 years, and also keep in mind this is a kind of an addressing of the argument. It's not any people-oriented thing, right? It's just the argument. When we have that, I guess, kind of mentality, it's almost like we're saying your body, my choice. Like there might not be any kind of direct violence that you're seeing or you're involved in, but you are saying with your dollar, that's going to happen to you, and it's my choice because I benefit, basically. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I would say that it is kind of our choice what happens to animals.
Okay.
And it's it is abusive if someone is kind of holding animals in a way that's like, okay, they're not being nourished, they're not around other animals, or they're just stuck in a cellar all day.
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, I think it's up to the stewardship of mankind.
Okay. Are you familiar with extrinsic versus intrinsic value?
Yes, to some degree. I'm sure you'll tell me some more
Well,
about
it's like,
it. though.
it's simple, right? It's like I can't make any like calls or speculations like for your future because you hold an intrinsic value that only you know of. So sentience, which is an emerging property of a nervous system and a brain, which animals and humans have, I think would yield that consideration from mankind instead of saying we're just going to take. Like I said, we've been conditioned to see them as objects, I myself, for 30 years, because that's what the narratives teach. And they've trickled it down generation to generation, and they're keen. They're very keen. And they know exactly how to posture when it comes to having these dialogues happen. Like they know they want people to get upset and defensive and think, oh, we're trying to take away your freedom. But the thing is, like I was just telling the chat, it's the antithesis of that. Because we're going around stealing, like basically freedoms from all these sentient beings. We're taking their purposes, their sovereignty, and then we are kind of getting a boomerang effect to where we're being controlled by politicians, the government, and capitalism. We're getting heart disease, diabetes, cancer. We're all in cubicles, and we don't see it. But the control narratives know it, and that's a very minute portion of the population. But all the defending against veganism is all in service of these 1%. But what would be the biggest thing stopping you guys from going vegan? How about this guy? He's been a little quiet.
Have you ever had a steak?
Of course I've had a steak. Are you kidding me? I was the guy at the restaurant with my now wife. Be like, excuse me, or whatever, waiter, biggest steak over here, and give me the most expensive glass of wine. I was that guy, 100%. But when I took a step back and I looked at things as they are, I realized that I was kind of being a bully to a helpless youngling on a net basis, on a very real affected level. And it took me, I had to be interfaced with basically a dialogue like this, but it was via a speech. And if you guys want, before you go, I got the speech I listened to 12 years ago on my cards. And it's just like, it makes sense, So like I said, we're trying to frame an argument against the argument to consume meat. And that's our whole MO out here.
I would think there's nothing wrong with being vegan or non-vegan.
Okay.
I think the argument to ask someone to be vegan
Yeah.
and not eat meat, I think there's something against that. Because if I can piggyback off what he's,
Yeah.
we're coming from like a biblical standpoint on it.
Okay,
whereas
heard.
the
Gotcha.
Lord has given us dominion over animals, and He has provided this to them as a gift.
Yeah.
Not to abuse them, and it actually talks about in the Old Testament how it's sinful to mistreat your beasts, as the term is used.
Yeah. What do you think the reason for that is? Because he considers
To
God
mistreat,
considers them sentient.
it's sinful to mistreat an animal. That's essentially. What were you saying?
Like why? Like the reason why he gives us directives is because he considers them sentient. Like God, when he created them, he knows they have pain receptors. He knows they have eyes to see and noses to breathe. There's a deep historical context when I think it comes to the Bible. Because right now, none of us are in that situation. We can just go to Chipotle and make the benevolent choice. Boom. And I think that Jesus would be more aligned with that than voting for a helpless cow to. It's just crazy. I mean, basically, this big farmer that doesn't care about him has to take what's that Grim Reaper weapon, the one that they use? The scythe, and he just has to mercilessly and.
I mean, they got to go one way. It's quick.
I mean,
Quick that way?
but if that happened to us, we obviously would be vehemently against that, And I'm not trying to say consider animals on the same level. I want you to consider humans, above animals, but have a mentality of guardianship, not bullying, Does that make sense?
I hear you on that, and I'm kind of against the more like globalist like production of beef and whatnot and a bunch of chickens in mass quantities.
Yeah.
Now it's hard to get away from that.
Very hard. The inertia is
but-
99% right now.
But I would say there's a value in, still eating meat and doing so in more of a localized manner of like have your own chickens, go to your local farmer, know the farmer,
Okay.
that type of thing.
Okay, that sounds like your vegan heart talking right there. Like, do you guys know what the? I'm going to convince all of you that you're vegans by the end of this. Do you guys know what the energy conversion ratio is for a cow as far as its input versus output? It's 8 to 1. It's 8 to 1. So it takes
8 input, 1 output?
Exactly. So 8 units of energy in, 1 unit of energy out. Takes in all the plants. That's how it gets the protein. Assimilates it within its anatomical kind of dynamics, and then it outputs 1. So if we were to just cut that out on a slow basis, not going to happen overnight, then we can repurpose all this land and actually be more stewarding of the environment, the plants, the insects, everything wins. And plus our health wins. But nothing's going to change if we keep the blinders on that are directly handed to us by these control narratives I'm talking about.
What are the control narratives?
Well, it's basically there's about 1% of 1%. It's about 1% of the 1%. It's about 10,000 people on a collective basis, and they control everything. If you want to know more of what I'm talking about, there's a book called The World Peace Diet. It's written by a guy named Will Tuttle, and he goes deep into herding culture and how it was incepted when it began, the whole 10,000 years ago thing, and he'll frame that out much better than I could. But these guys have all the money in the world, and that money translates to power, and that power translates to control. And they don't want to lose that control. But I'll kind of backpedal because that's a little bit tangent into what we're.
To be respectful of your time, we should probably get going. In the
Yeah,
next,
tell you
like,
what, guys.
2 minutes.
Before you go, take one of these if you can, because I'm talking to all you guys. I'm looking at all you guys, and we're all vegan, man. We're all vegan at birth. When we're babies, we come out vegan.
All you vegetarians.
I don't think so.
We just forget. We just forget. That's the thing. And it's easy to happen because 99% are not vegan. Your doctors, your family, your teachers, they're all not vegan. So you can't, like when you leave this conversation, you'll be right back in that pool and it'll be so easy. But please try your best just to maybe look up the speech on the back. Give it some weight because I'm doing this because I respect humans. That's one of the big reasons I'm doing this. And I respect our sovereignty as humans as well. So I appreciate you guys stopping by. You have any questions for me?
Thank you for your
Thank you
time.
for your
You know,
time.
I
Thanks for having the
usually,
bravery to stop by.
Shy away from the vegan thing, 'cause I like to stay on the size.
Oh,
But
heard.
One of my coworkers is a vegan.
Yeah.
He's like shredded. He's
Dude,
massive.
I mean, I'm still
So I
like,
can't get away from
I'm
it.
still
Yeah,
kind of
see?
like,
Shredded.
I'm not like bulked, but I'm like
Yeah.
shredded. You
So
can do it.
We argued he might be on TRT. he's very old. He's got
Heard.
great size.
Okay. Well, he's not going to tell you if he is.
Yeah.
All right,
He
guys.
does tell us he's vegan. He won't tell if he's on.
Well, you can do it. Watch Game Changers on Netflix too. Take care, guys. All right. Did we just make 3 new vegans there? I don't know. We may have. Welcome to the chat, everybody. Once again, the glare is pretty formidable, and I cannot see anything on this chat. But I might be moving soon if it stays stays not too many people like this. Yeah, please like and subscribe to the channel. And the more you like and subscribe, the more I get out here, blow this channel up, and eventually kiss my hamster wheel job to the curb and start, full send this bitch and go full time. We want to be out here as much as we can. But let me collect my thoughts. Where was I before those guys came around? Ah, yes, I remember. I was talking about freedom, and I kind of touched on it with them. But the thing that you guys are going to, the main objection and argument you have against this, you will not say. But you're going to give me all kinds of justifications. You're going to say plants have feelings, right? You're going to say the Bible says so, right? You're going to say, you name it, we've heard them all. Caveman, though, natural, though. The main thing is you're worried that we're trying to take away your freedom, and that is exactly what we are not trying to do. And the reason you think that is because you have been taught to see through that lens by the control narratives I was telling you about, by these guys that really puppeteer all information. So when we consume meat, cheese, milk, and eggs, which our body does not need, nothing from it, we are effectively stealing sovereignty and freedom from others. And when I see others, I mean beings with a sentient awareness. Eyes to see, nose to breathe. Hi, guys. You guys want to try a few questions for YouTube? All right. Have a great day. And we are stealing their sovereignty, we are stealing their purposes, we are stealing everything from them for something we do not need. So in essence, we are stealing their freedom, right? So with this kind of boomerang effect, this energetic dynamic in effect, we end up having our freedom stolen from us as well. Hi, guys. And we find ourselves with heart disease, diabetes, cancer. We find ourselves in hospitals. We find ourselves in cubicles. We find ourselves controlled by politicians. Hi, guys. You guys want to try a few questions for YouTube? Just test your values? All right. Good one, guys. Okay. But yeah, so if we're stealing that from others, we cannot expect to have that ourselves. And that's exactly what we're doing. We're stealing their purposes and sovereignties. There's no arguing this, guys. This is a full stop happening. So if we can kind of breach these kind of walls of inertia that were built by said control narratives, and we can evolve our consciousness to consider the other end of our buying choices and what change we are voting to see in the world, then we can directly destroy these plutocratic agendas that seek to have us doing exactly what they want, so they can keep that wealth siphoning in, that control siphoning in, that power siphoning in. But if you guys are curious about this idea, check out The World Peace Diet by Dr. Will Tuttle. Hi, guys. You guys want to try a few questions for YouTube? Just test your values? Okay. Have a good one, guys. We've had a few good conversations so far. It's funny because the ones that I've had, wow. What's going on, big guy? How are you? The few that we've had, I don't know. The first one, not that great. They were sweet, though. They were nice. They were listening. And the second one I thought was a little better. And it's like crowds, I feel like I'm doing stand-up night with all the crowds around me. Kind of cool. Here we go. Meat is food. I can always count on coming back to the chat and receiving the dumbest of lamentations. Okay, what else do we got? Tessa, do your job. Time those people out. Oh, don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it. We're not going crazy, like kicking everybody out. We're being tempered. We want engagement too, right? We want people to hear the vegan message. But we get crazy spam that won't stop in a certain degree of, yes, we want to field that. There we go, KFC, thank you for that. I look sickly, okay. Okay, nurse. I mean, I don't know, do you guys think I look sick? I got, some muscle definition there, right? I mean, I'm a distance runner. I lift weights. Hi, guys. How's it going, everybody? You guys want to try? You'll be on YouTube.
Oh.
I'm just doing interviews today.
That's okay. They don't know English.
Oh, gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha. You want a card? Here, I have a YouTube channel if you want to look at my. It's entertaining. I'm entertaining. But
Are
it's
you
it's
like a vegan?
of course, yeah. It's in the
Yeah.
spirit of just
Oh,
education.
My friend, I will send to her. She's
Oh, please.
vegetarian.
Yeah. Oh, let's go vegan, man. We can all do it, and it's better for our health. We don't have to
Yes,
eat any
yes.
cholesterol or all that
Exactly,
stuff, you know.
exactly.
But yeah, check out my card. Thanks
Sure,
for stopping
definitely.
by.
Thank
You guys
you.
are awesome.
Bye.
Have a good one.
Canal YouTube.
Anyway, I can hardly read. Wimp. Andrew. I think that was your name. So what do you think is wimpier? Let me ask you a question, and it's just very direct. What do you think's wimpier? Going to a kind of ballot box and voting for, oh yeah, sure, yeah, I'm getting pictures, guys.
Wanna make a video.
Aw.
She has a good Instagram follower.
Oh, that's great. Okay, yeah.
4,000.
Hashtag vegan. Let's go. Okay, perfect.
Hello. Hello.
She's from Iran.
Oh, very cool.
So she
Okay.
said, if it's possible, you say salam.
Oh,
Iran,
I'll do
and
that.
she-
Okay, I'll see if I can. Tell me when.
Salam.
Salam? Okay. All right. Salam. Hi, everybody.
We can talk about your.
Yeah, so I'm just doing a little outreach today where we are talking to the public, asking them why they're not vegan yet, challenging their values, and actually convincing them that they are vegan at heart. So that's pretty much our whole initiative here. Shukran. That's it.
Shukran is Arabic.
Oh gosh, what's thank you in Iranian?
Thank you, Mamnoon.
Hele mamnoon?
Uh-huh.
Hele mamnoon. Okay.
Hirami.
Oh, I don't know.
She said, do you want to come to Iran?
I would love to. I will be there soon. Hey, if I can get this channel successful enough, I'll go around the world, man. I'll see you in Iran. Absolutely.
Thank you.
have a great day, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Enjoy the weather. Bye-bye. Salam.
So I will.
Check me out, yeah.
Yes, you will get some of
Sounds
her
good. Yeah,
followers.
subscribe. Yeah.
Bye. Hodafis.
Yes, bye.
Hodafis.
What is that?
Hodafis. God.
Oh, yes. Okay, bye to, yeah, Hood Office. All right, bye, Hood Office. Bye, guys. Take care. See, it's always fun out here on the street. You never know who you're going to meet. There's all kinds of amazing, beautiful people walking around. And hi there. How are you guys? Doing good? Oh, no. I would go tell them. They'll give you another one. Let's see here. Gary says, would you preach God instead? Well, I mean, Gary, I would contest that, if you are a spiritual person, then you're vegan, because if you are vegan, you are making a vote for the collective 3 times a day. When you vote for non-vegan violent systems, you vote to oppress animals, humans, and plants. Yeah, I'm going to start to consider plants in there too. Plants are actually beautifully robust beings. Not beings, organisms. They're not sentient like cows, pigs, chickens, or humans, but they are beautiful. They have their own magic. And hi guys, you guys want to try a few questions? I feel like I talked to you guys before, no? Okay, are you down being on YouTube?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right, here you go. I got 2 more, everybody. What are your names? My name's James. Owen.
I'm Matthew.
And Matthew, nice to meet you guys. So my name's James. I'm an animal rights activist. I guess I just asked a few questions. What do you guys think? And it's the same ones you saw me ask them. What do you guys think veganism is?
Should I go first?
Yeah, go for it.
Veganism, just being animal friendly and not
Okay.
eating.
Yeah. Oh, that's an awesome.
Trying to
definition.
not eating meat, not eating any animal products.
Okay, another awesome definition. Okay, so I want to challenge you to do your best. Take everything you've heard about veganism, okay? Take it and just throw it away. And try to canvas out a new definition, which is the actual definition, which is it's a stance against violence. That's it. So I like to intercept that, and that consequentially it has to do with food, all the other stuff, entertainment. But it's really an ethos, not really a food thing. Food makes it too mellow. Are you guys against animal abuse?
Yeah.
You are, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that tees up the third question, which is this question: why aren't you vegan yet? Because you have vegan values already, and we're all born with them when we're babies, and then we're just told by our parents you have to eat meat, cheese, milk, and eggs because their parents told them that too, and their parents told them that too. But we all were born with this compassionate heart, right? So the last question is: do you guys think, or what do you think we need nutritionally from an animal?
Protein.
Protein, I get that a lot.
Fats.
Fats, okay.
Yeah, protein, fats. I guess all the main nutrients come from
Yeah,
a lot of
okay.
come from animals.
You're going to hear all kinds of stuff. But where I would posture, where do the animals get their protein from?
Plants.
Perfect. There you go. So, we can kind of back up and look at that and just see, we're integrating a middleman into this whole equation, right? But yeah, I would posture, and don't believe me, do your own due diligence, but you don't need anything from an animal to survive, and you don't need vitamins or supplements, nothing like that. If you want to like lift weights, there are vegan proteins and stuff like that. But the crux of the matter is we're all going around with these vegan values, but we are voting for the antithesis of it. We are going around voting for enslavement and rape and murder, all this stuff that our hearts are not. What do you guys think about that?
I believe like eating animals to some degree is all right, but
Yeah.
maybe more like a majority should be plants, like of your diet.
Totally,
But if
totally.
you just have a little bit.
Do you know who initially got it in our heads that meat is, we just have to have it to be healthy? So we go back like 400 generations, about 10,000 years ago when herding culture began. That's when certain control narratives started to kind of blossom. And they kind of had this rhetoric that you need meat, cheese, milk, and eggs, or you're not going to be healthy. And that all spawned from one word and one word only, and that's money. And that later transcended to power, and that later transcended to control. But we think that because we're having this kind of laser precision tuned information perpetually imbued on us that is telling us that. So as like, especially you guys, you're young, we have the opportunity now as younger people to just say, I'm not going to be deceived anymore. I'm not going to be lied to. I'm going to vote with my heart and not with what you guys tell me to do. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So what's the biggest thing stopping you guys from being vegan?
Just, I don't know. I lift a lot of weights, and
Okay.
when I look at vegan options for like
protein
things
and
to
Weight,
things to like actually grow me as a person,
Herd.
like making progression, I guess, in the gym, a lot of the options usually stem from eating meat or non-vegan options.
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, I mean,
Athletics?
And I would say, apart from like, obviously, getting organic like plant or like vegan products, like a lot of the vegan products that are produced now also contain a lot of harmful like byproducts, I guess.
Okay.
And
Like processed foods?
yeah,
Okay.
like plant-based burger, like stuff like that. If you look at the ingredients list, like there's a lot of harmful things
Yeah.
that stem from that. And I guess for me, I try to stay more natural.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, okay, that's a good answer. Yeah, and I guess I would start with we don't need to eat those things. You don't need to have the plant-based burgers. If taste is your biggest thing, I mean, I'll say it, but once again, don't believe me, do your own due diligence. If taste is your biggest thing, you can find the ones that taste just like meat. And, you're not getting cholesterol, TMAO, IGF-1, growth factors, hormones. I can keep going. Like all the stuff that's baked into the cake in animal meat is just not good for you. And all these said plant-based alternatives don't have any of that. However, I'm not saying they're healthy. But you can eat whole food plant-based. And if your why is strong enough, you'll find a way to be a vegan bodybuilder. You can do it. Your why just has to be strong enough. If you don't have a strong why, then nothing's going to change. But if you know the truth, then and you want to continue with your kind of authenticity as a human with values, I think it's really important that we all just kind of try to exact our actions from a place of truth. But have you seen Game Changers on Netflix? Oh my God. Okay, you guys got to check out Game Changers on Netflix. So what's going on, guys? It's a movie that's been out for about 5 years, and you'll see vegan bodybuilders. I've been vegan 12 years. I still got pretty good bicep. You'll see vegan bodybuilders, vegan swimmers, vegan everything. And the movie was made to address this objection. The movie was made to kind of transcend this whole narrative that all vegans are like these like frail like skeletons where you can just blow them down. You know, I mean, Nimai Delgado was on the cover of Muscle and Fitness a few years ago. He's a vegan, you know, and he hasn't eaten meat since he was born. He's never eaten meat in his life. So question what you've been told from everybody, being your doctors, and I love my parents, they're not vegan yet. Also question them. Question them, question your friends, question everything that is material, and listen to your heart. That's what I'm gonna say. I guess that's what I'll leave you with. But you guys gave me some good, I think, counter questions. What do you guys think moving forward? Is veganism something you might think about?
Yeah, it's very interesting talking to one in person because
Yeah, it's like we're an alien, right? Like it's a vegan. You know, it's like I'm one in a billion. There's, call your friends.
Online, I feel like it's skewed like against veganism and stuff. Like I don't know, depending on like.
Oh,
what you see in the
online?
yeah.
For sure. Like I said, with everything material that goes for the internet, you have to question all of it because all of it can be tilted in the control narrative's favor. All of it. Anything material, you have to look spiritually, right? Your intuition, that's your guide, not anything you look up online or anything that somebody sees in a book. Sorry, it doesn't work like that. But if you guys take these with you, this will give you some information. My YouTube channel, you'll see our dialogue here. You'll see all the other interviews that I do on the weekly basis, and you'll see resources for nutrition. As you see, I got Netflix Game Changers on there. So check that out tonight. Watch it tonight, man. Get some popcorn, you know, no butter, but so, you know, some popcorn and, you know, whatever. And just, it's great entertainment and it's great educational content.
Yeah. Thank you. I feel like we need to do more. I guess I just haven't really looked into it.
I appreciate your curiosity and coming over, guys, because that's the first step, right? We have to have an open mind. If we're just going to accept the orders that are given to us by the control narratives, nothing's going to change. But people that are brave and have an open mind like you guys, that's what we need. You know,
Same goes for you.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that are, I guess, more radical
Yeah.
towards views and don't really hear both sides.
And I know those people you're talking about. The thing is, when you take a step back and you realize some people get very emotional, you know, and they're basically kind of upset because they're standing idly by why people are voting for systems that are very evil, right? And the people don't even know, or the people do know and they're against it. But think about this, and I'll leave you with this. If you were the victim and you were in a situation where you're having your whole time horizon taken away from you, wouldn't you want a barbarian standing up for you? You wouldn't want somebody passive, you know, and quiet and just a pick-me. You would want a barbarian sticking up for you. So I'll leave you with that. Just think from the animal outlook regarding like everything.
Yeah.
Owen and Matthew, nice to meet you guys. Have a beautiful day. Think about it, check out the resources. Man, I love you guys, man. Thanks for stopping. Have a great day. Hi guys, welcome back. All right, we were back here. Oh, we got a few people in here. If you're just getting here, please like and subscribe to my channel because I ain't gonna stop. We're gonna be out here and eventually we're gonna be teaching others to do the same thing. And who knows, we might be popping up in your town soon, putting you on the spot. Hang on one sec. Let's try to get these guys. Hi guys, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. Let's see if we can get a few interviews. We got to stop for all the walkers by. Hi guys, how's it going, everybody? Anybody want to try a few questions? Why aren't you vegan yet? Hi guys, want to try a few questions for YouTube? Just test your values? No? Okay. But I really want to kind of come up with a network that teaches others how to do this, and I think that's one of the things I'll be working on. And also, little disclaimer, the people that are just getting here, I want you to understand that I'm not attacking you. I'm not judging you. We are attacking and judging the argument. That's exactly what we're doing, okay? Because we're all interconnected, we're all human beings. We all need to learn how to play together on this beautiful world, and that includes letting animals live. Hi, guys. Oh, have a good one, guys. Check out the channel, Vegan Sign Guy. Yeah, so we're here, and the one thing that, how's it going, everybody? How are you? The one thing that you're gonna think first, and it's immediately gonna come to your mind, is that we're trying to take something away from you. You're not gonna say that. I understand that, you're not gonna say that, but it's going to be under the hood, and it's there looming, and you guys know it. It's like, this guy's trying to take something away from me, and that's exactly what the control narratives want you to think. Take a step back, just for a minute. and I want to challenge you. Hang on one sec. Hi, guys. Guys, want to try a few questions for YouTube Live? All right, have a great day. So I would challenge you guys to take a step back and look at what we are doing to others with our money, our energy, and what we are effectively taking from them. We're taking their time horizons, their time on Earth. We're taking their sovereignty. We're taking their purposes. We're taking the entire breath of life that was breathed into them too by this infinite, by the infinite consciousness. And we're doing that expecting to be free ourselves. But what happens is this boomerang effect, where energy dynamics would have it that we now are going to be controlled. And that's by being in a cubicle. That's by way of our heart disease, cancer, type 2 diabetes that afflicts us from only eating meat, cheese, milk, and eggs. Being at the mercy of politicians and government. That's not freedom, guys. And it has ineffectively boomeranged back to us. What's up, big guy? You want to try a few questions for YouTube? Just test your values? Guess not. All right. Have a good day, man. We got some fellow filmers out here. If you're just getting here, like and subscribe and help me get this channel going. We want to grow it as much as possible. What's going on, big guy? Now, I want you also to notice that I'm going to be integrating some clickbait into my bringing people in via energy, maybe a little snarky comment. Initially, we're just going to be really nice and ask them if they want try a few questions. But it's all in the spirit of love, all in the spirit of education, all in the spirit of, you know, getting at these deceivers and shutting down their operation. All right, use your free will. Oh, Atira, hi. Nice to see you. And that's a great, yeah, use your free will. That's a great sentiment to put forward. You know, we have this choice, this agency, whether or not we want to be a guardian or a bully. And that choice materializes in the form of how we're funneling our dollar. So you've heard the phrase, be the change. Think about it. Is it a positive change when you're voting for inherent systems of violence 3 times a day and saying this is the legacy I want to leave? And also it's kind of like you're being an example to all those around you, your kids, your family, your friends, and you're saying this is the legacy that I want to leave. Your actions define everything, right? We've already had a few conversations. I think I'm going to move to another area. And why don't you guys come with me? Hey, first, I'm going to give you a treat today. I have a family of ducks supporting me. Hi, guys. Thanks for the support, everybody. Looking good, Jack. Yeah, it might be a little extra today, but we're going to move down to this area. I saw this. My wife showed me this really beautiful, beautiful video of a chicken today, and on a farm, and it kind of lamented some fun facts about chickens, and really interesting little guys. They have empathy. Did you guys know that chickens can, there has been decided by, once again, don't give it too much weight, but something like this, you know, is only for the good. Chickens have empathy, you know, they can really feel. They might have more so than their other counterparts. All right, what are these guys filming out here today? Something. Anyway, we're gonna be out here for a little bit. If you guys are just getting here, we just moved locations. Like and subscribe. I'm just asking the public why they're not vegan yet, holding everybody accountable, being a crazy vegan on the loose, pretty much. So stay tuned for amazing conversations. Somebody said vegan sign guy, but I can't see your name because of my glare. He's married to his uncle. Hey, that's not cool. I gotta start vetting these before I read them. Oh dear. All right. We've gone into Trollville for a little bit. It's okay, guys. Just maybe listen. Hang out and listen. What's up, big guy? All right. We got some fellow filmers out here today doing their thing. Anyway, hopefully we'll see some great conversations. We'll see some, maybe we'll get some, emotional volatility. Sometimes that ensues. Basically, all bets are off when you're doing live vegan outreach. I was at this very spot 4 weeks ago, and somebody threatened to throw me in the water. Look at this. He said he's going to throw me in there. What's up, guys? How's it going? If you guys want to try an interview, I'm doing interviews for YouTube. It's up to you, no pressure, and it's a nice, just great, positive vibe energy. Are you okay being on my YouTube live? Because that's it. I have a few hundred people. So my name's James. I just asked the public a few quick questions. The first one is, do you know, or what's your definition of veganism?
Like not eating like animal-made material.
Yeah, okay, great answer. How about you guys? Similar? Similar, right? Okay, so the challenge is that I like to lament to everybody on kind of out in public is to try to take away everything that you know about veganism and just throw it out, because we can distill it down to a simple idea, and that is being a guardian. That is a stance against violence, right? And we affect that said choice by way of our dollar, our energy, so to speak. My second question is, are you guys for or against animal abuse? Oh, everybody's against it.
Yeah,
Everybody's against
yeah.
it, right? Well, that tees up the third one. So, boom. You all have vegan hearts. I mean, I can just tell you that right here and there, or right here and then, now and then. You all have vegan hearts, but it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see that there's a distortion going on when we're going around with vegan hearts, but we're voting for systems that are inherently violent, like meat, cheese, milk, and eggs. Abuse isn't even the right word. We're talking words I don't want to even say in front of you that happen to them behind the curtain. Have you ever thought about this before?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, the 99% kind of rhetoric and inertia would have us think about this very, very non-frequently. And that's by design, right? But this beautiful conversation that we can have because of social media and its proliferation allows sound information to actually, hit people's ears. There's no money in what I'm doing right here. I'm doing this out of my own volition. And the only way we're going to tilt buying dynamics is appealing to, young people like you guys that have the future in your hands. What would be the biggest thing stopping you guys from going vegan?
I like meat.
Nutrition?
Yeah,
Okay, I got you.
yeah.
I've got that a few times today. I got you.
Uh-huh.
Okay, yeah. I would say, I would posture here first. I would say, do you think like you getting pleasure from something would justify, certain violent happenings happening to them where we didn't need to do that because nutritionally we need nothing from an animal? I mean, it makes sense, right? Like it's if you think about it, your vegan heart would probably disagree with the sentiment. But we've all been taught since birth that, eating meat, cheese, milk, and eggs is normal, necessary, and nice. That's what we've all been taught. My parents are still not vegan. They still believe that. They taught me that. Their parents taught them that. You all have vegan values. So I would challenge you to think about that. You can find vegan ice cream, vegan meat, vegan cheese. And guess what? It tastes the same, and there's no cholesterol. TMAO, I won't even get started on the cocktail of stuff that's actually in meat. It's not for human bodies. It's just we have been told that for so long. So bonus, you get healthier. Who's got a question?
I mean, not necessarily. I mean, you can still have a really, really healthy diet and still eat meat.
I won't disagree with that. I'll say you can be healthy on both, right? But don't you think it'd be more imperative as far as our ethos and our moral fiber to do our best in this situation? And we know at least giving them their bodily autonomy, the bare minimum, we can at least give them that. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
You're vegan.
I mean, not necessarily. I'm not chosen the lifestyle of not eating meat.
But your heart, and you were born vegan too. When we were babies, we're all vegan. But your heart already is. Like me saying that, just framing it like that, that's not word gymnastics or word salad. I'm literally saying, could you at least do them the favor of yielding them their bodily autonomy, bare minimum? Those are just factual, that's a sentence. And you agree with it. And it makes sense to agree with that. Because if you agree with every other injustice, you'll agree with veganism by design. I'll challenge you moving forward, ladies. You know, hopefully, if you'd like, I can give you a card with my YouTube channel. Would you look at the resources if I did?
Actually, I have actually seen you on YouTube before.
No, you haven't. Oh my gosh,
I was
she's
here
seen me on
before.
YouTube. So did I interview you?
You've interviewed me.
See, hopefully I've scaled. Really? Are you kidding me? Hopefully I've scaled my game a little bit as far as the dynamics. So I guess, what do you think? Was it a good dynamic today?
So yeah, a little less, not gonna lie, a little less like pounding with questions.
Yeah.
Not as much as an interrogation, just more of a question and answer
Today?
kind of thing. Yes.
This is live organic feedback. Well, thank you so much. I mean, did you look into it at all from the last time we talked?
Honestly, I watched the video that we were in.
Yeah, aw.
And I saw like kind of like the difference. And I understand where you're coming from. And
Yeah.
I think it's great. A lot of people have done
Yeah,
this.
think about this. I'll leave you with this. I know you guys are on your way, and now you're just like here talking to me. And I want you to, I know you want to go out and enjoy your day. Think about this. The only reason we're so vehemently against it is because of messaging that comes from a very elite group. And that very elite group wants you to argue against veganism because they get a lot of money that translates to money, wealth, and power. And they don't want to see that stop. So they need people to be reflexively against veganism. And by being vegan, you're basically giving them the finger and you're doing your own thing. I'll leave you with that. You guys are amazing. Thanks for the feedback. Okay, check out, keep going back to the channel. I'm gonna have guests, interviewees, all kinds of like other things going on. Have a good one, guys. Okay, that was interesting. Okay, I don't know if you guys saw that, but they said, what's my power at? 60%. They said the one girl said she has seen me on YouTube before, or she has been in an interview with me before. So I guess my memory is terrible, or I talk to way too many people. About these guys. What's going on, guys? Gonna try a few questions for YouTube. Just test out your values. All right, have a great day, guys. Yeah, so interesting. But what I said to them at the end, that's just true. There's no arguing that. I mean, we are being duped, and said control narratives are laughing their way literally to the bank. With us at our expense. And we are out here defending them, not knowing what we are defending. Our own demise. Anyway, Jesus ate lamb. Oh my God. So they are the soy predator. Oh dear. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think it's nice to put meat, cheese, milk, and eggs into the vessel, into the body of a child, a young child? So you're putting violence, you're putting rape, you're putting slavery, you're putting oppression, you're putting all kinds of bad negative energies. You're putting cholesterol, saturated fats, what else do we got, guys? IGF-1, hormones, growth factors, cortisol, all into the body of a helpless child that would argue against it if they had the knowledge. You think that's macho? That's something to be proud of? Because I would say that's a very small thing to do once you know better. I got all these ducks out here hanging out. There's like 10 of them now. Do you guys hear them? Audible sound bites. Audible sound bites. They're happy. Are they here like literally cheering me on? Oh boy, okay. White dudes for Kamala. Oh dear. Nothing nothing political about veganism, nothing religious about veganism. Oh, here we go. Vitamin B12, creatine, all that stuff, a bunch of bullshit. You're listening to and you're reading all kinds of material science that are fear-mongering others, saying that you need that stuff, and you're just being a peddler for their whatever. You don't need any of that shit. You don't need B12, you don't need fucking creatine, heme iron, you don't need any of that. It's all lies, and you're getting all that from material information. Said could be peer-reviewed research, could be just literature, could be educational content. It's all sponsored, dude. And it makes you look like an idiot when you contest with something like that. I've been vegan 12 years. Hi there, how are you? Hi guys. Let's go vegan for the animals, everybody. 2025. Not nice. He said, I just had a hamburger. What's going on, buddy? Well, you want to try a few questions for YouTube? Just test your values?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
All right, man. Have a good one. Guy just goes, I just had a hamburger. Really, dude? You're like 60 years old and you're trolling like that? What's wrong with people? I've been vegan 12 years. I don't take vitamins or supplements. My daughter's been vegan since birth. Don't listen to all the bullshit that these anti-vegans are peddling, especially these BS people like Anthony. I'm not going to say their last names because I don't want to get sued. Anthony, whatever, 2 syllables. Sean, whatever, 2 syllables. Who else we got? Paul, whatever. These guys are all championing pseudoscience, and it's all at your expense, guys. And honestly, part of me, when I watch them, I think they don't even know any better. But they got the blind leading the blind on these channels going on. It's just sad. I mean, it's being vegan is very simple. It's the golden rule. It is do unto others, and that's what we teach our kids. That's what we teach our loved ones. So let's actually be stewards, guardians, not little bullies that pick on people weaker than us. Someone says, I'm buying steak. Glad to see that really got through to you. Eating meat is simple. Oh dear. Bodybuilders aren't athletes? Oh man, there's a lot of rhetoric in here. What's the OF? Moral standpoint, I get it. Health-wise, no. No, health-wise, it is better for you. I mean, this is a full stop. There is no way you're going to tell me that, and I'll just curate this and paint this out, that even grass-fed family farms, you're still getting TMAO, cholesterol, IGF-1, hormones, cortisol, plaque-promoting copious amounts of saturated fats, even from the grassiest of grass-fed and grassiest of grass-finished family, welfare-based farms. You're putting all that in your body. That ain't healthy, dude. Sorry. What's going on, buddy? You want to try a few questions for YouTube? Just test your values?
No, thank you.
Okay, have a great day.
Appreciate it. You
Yep,
too.
my pleasure. Okay, what did veganism mean to you before you became one? That's actually a good question. Hang on, whoever said that, thank you. All right, guys, time to step up. A few questions. You want to try YouTube Live? Just test your values? Oh. Hi, guys. Before I was vegan, I thought it was a cult. Before I was vegan, I ridiculed it, was violently opposed to it. I made fun of it. One sec. Hi, guys. You guys want to try a few questions for YouTube? Let's test out your values a little bit. Up to you. Debate a vegan. Have a good one, guys. How about these guys? Hi, guys. You want to try a few questions for YouTube? Just test your values? Okay. Have a good one. So I thought it was ridiculous. I thought it was a cult. I thought it was people that thought they were so righteous. And like I said, I made fun of them. And the biggest thing that that helped me have more of a clear eye was realizing that veganism has nothing to do with food at all. Throw that right out the window. Veganism has to do with your ethical fiber. It has to do with your character. It has to do with your ethos. What do they say? Actions speak louder than words, right? I think most people in here would agree with that. So your actions are what you do with your money, what you do with your energy. So when you vote for certain systems with your energy, you know, said systems are going to create more of what you are voting for with your energy. So you vote for something violent or something that sexually exploits somebody else or slits their throat open or takes their baby from them when they're young. All these things happen behind the curtain and we pay for it. We don't even realize it. They're going to create more of that. You vote for systems that are benevolently oriented, then you're going to get more of that. All it is just do your best. Veganism is not perfection. Just give the animals bodily autonomy, guys. That's the bare minimum. I mean, that's the bare minimum that you can do, is just give them their own bodily autonomy. That's not much to ask, right? That's not much to ask. All right, me being lazy. Okay, it's a cult. I can't read. It's going fast again. We're going fast again in here, guys. Veganism is a practice, ethical philosophy. But Lewis said, I agree. How can I switch to vegan? There we go. We got somebody open-minded. So how can you switch to vegan? So check this out. Go to, if you got your phone on, you scan this QR code, and it's going to take you to a speech. And if you don't remember or you can't do that, go to The Best Speech You'll Ever Hear by Gary Yourofsky, circa 2012, Georgia Tech University. Watch that speech. You can find the vegan versions of everything. Don't listen to the BS that tells you you need anything nutritionally from an animal, because it's all that exactly BS. Just don't believe the lies. And if you believe in what I said and how it's an ethos, then, you know, make your actions follow your values. And you can do it. If your why's strong enough, you'll figure out how to do it. And it's actually very easy. It's just kind of signaled that it's not, but it's very easy. You can do it. You guys want to try a few quick questions for YouTube? All right, have a good one, guys. Yeah, so if you're against animal abuse, but you're not vegan, there's a clear distortion, and you're voting for things you don't believe in, and you're teaching others to vote for things they don't believe in. So it's being a bad example. And you know what? It's not like, I mean, until you know better, you can't do better, right? So you're not like accountable until you convince yourself or you see for yourself that, you know, it's more to do. It has much more to do with ethos than it has to do with food. Now, it's really simple, actually. The golden rule, guys. You gonna pay to swap my whatever? Okay. Nuggets, says Lewis. There you go. Barbecue Rabbit. We get some real macho guys in here. I'm so vegan. I love that name. Can you go fishing, vegans? No, of course not. All right, guys. You guys want to try a few questions for YouTube? Just test your values. And have a great day, guys. So, yeah. Hi, guys. Who wants to try? Hi, guys. But if you're just getting here, I'm going to try to get as many interviews as I can. Oh, nice. Anybody else want to try YouTube Live? Put you on the spot? Oh, thank you. Thank you. By what? Oh, okay. I missed that, but have a good one. So she's a chegan. She's a cheating vegan, a chegan. I think Jared Leto is one of those. Thank you for that contribution. Pork chops. So fishing was brought up. Is fishing vegan? Of course it's not. Because you are taking a sentient animal and ripping their face off, suffocating them for nothing. For nothing. For taste pleasure and arbitrary nutrition. So no, it's not vegan, silly. I have an interview I'd like everybody to watch. It's on my channel. While you're at it, let's like and subscribe, please. I interviewed Jonathan Balcombe on my channel a few months ago, who wrote the book, What a Fish Knows. What a Fish Knows chronicles everything about fish on a deeply intra-anatomical level. What's going on, guys? Want to try a few questions for YouTube? Put you on the spot?
We got to be singing.
All right, guys. Have a good one. So check out that interview. Dr. Jonathan goes into all kinds of stuff about how, you know, salmon have an internal GPS. Fish have families. They have nociceptors, which are more sensitive pain receptors than humans. And it's really amazing. What a Fish Knows is the book that he wrote, but the interview's on my channel under Turning Points Episode 2. Anyway, thanks for being here, guys. We've already had 4 conversations, 2 crowds, and I think we're actually we're starting to get some traction on the Annapolis front. But the cool thing is, if I got no one to talk to, I can talk to all of you. I also want you guys to keep in mind that this is nothing personal. We are not judging you. We are judging the argument, because we are trying to tear down and disassemble the argument, because you're going around defending something you really don't believe in. That's the crux of it. What is your view of abortion? No, we're not talking about that. Move along. I don't see how. It's funny because this abortion thing comes up. If you're against, if you are pro-choice, then if you're logically consistent, then you're vegan. You're a hypocrite if you're not. That's simple. So I'll say that, but I'll leave it there, because these conversations go into the freaking vortex. If you are pro-choice, then you are vegan, or you are logically inconsistent, and you're hypocritical. There's your answer. What's going on, dude? How are you? Hi, guys. You guys want to try a few questions for YouTube? All right, have a good one, guys. See, what's our time looking like here, guys? I can't even see. Can someone tell me how long we've been in here? Okay, a little over an hour. That's pretty good. Do you support hunting? Of course not, Wyatt. Jeez Louise. Of course I do not support hunting. That's the antithesis of being vegan. You're being a bully to somebody else. You're taking somebody's sovereignty, their life, their whole time horizon for a yum yum. So you can go yum 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 yum. Definitely not, Kyle. It's better to be vegan for many reasons, but it's a stressful lifestyle to transition to. Well, that's why you just can't give a shit what other people think, because it's going to be like this for a little bit. We're dealing with a 99% inertia factor here, where nobody's vegan. So of course, you just gotta decide that what's more important, my feelings or my ethos. Simple, and you can do it. Just be somebody to stand up against the system. Have all your friends laugh at you. Who cares? Hi, guys. Doesn't matter. Hi, guys. Fishing is not good, obviously. Hi there. You want to try a few questions for YouTube? Test your values out a little bit? I'm doing YouTube interviews, just asking people 3 questions. Oh, you don't have to be. Okay, I mean, you can be like away if you want. Up to you.
Okay, perfect.
Here, I'll block it. But I asked 3 questions. The first one is, do you know what veganism is, or what's your definition?
I know what it is. My daughter was it for 10 years.
Okay. What I like to say, or kind of intercept, is that it has nothing to do with food. I like to see if people can kind of throw that notion out, because it doesn't. It's a notion that says, you know, your life is more important than my taste buds at the end of the day. I then ask people, like, if they're against animal abuse. Are you?
I am.
Right, reflexively, right, like right off the bat. But then that tees up the third question, because I mean, nutritionally, there's nothing we need from an animal. You know, this is a full stop, finished argument. So now it's like we have these vegan hearts, but not actions that align with our values, I guess. And I know that's like a loaded thing to hear, but what do you think about that?
No, I agree with you. I
Yeah.
do. I do.
Yeah. So what's stopping you? What's the biggest thing stopping you from going full vegan? Thank you for stopping by. Everyone's been welcome.
I don't. I've tried. My
Yeah.
daughter did it for 6 years
Oh, wow.
until she got pregnant.
Okay,
until
gotcha.
She and actually went to someone that suggested she eat some more.
They're going to do that. I mean,
yeah.
when it comes to our kind of 99% non-vegan factor, all your doctors, your nurses, your teachers, your friends, your family, everyone's going to be on the side of non-veganism, because that's where the money, the control, the wealth all funnels to.
I would say basically my diet, except for I would say yogurt.
Okay,
or-
gotcha. Oh my God, that's so easy. We can like,
except
that is
for,
so
like,
easy.
Yogurt and stuff
Yeah.
like that. I don't eat a lot of
Yeah.
red meat. I don't eat
It's,
a lot of meat at all.
it's only a net plus for your health.
Yeah, well, it doesn't sit well with me.
Right? I mean, we're putting literally putting
But it's not something that I came to over
Yeah.
I want to be a vegan.
Yeah,
it
yeah,
was
yeah.
something that was like, my body doesn't like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's just more support that it's the natural way to go,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But like ethically, like we're such blinded by these kind of cognitive dissonance initiatives to where we're so far away from the way food is made, and that's by design, because they want to keep that money coming in, and they don't want good people changing. They don't want that at all.
I do agree something needs to be done about our food in this
Yeah,
country.
and then the other thing is we look at it all as food. It's this mellow thing. It's just food. It's what you eat. It's your diet. But at the heart of it all, it's like a female getting sexually exploited for her milk, getting killed, getting her baby taken away from her. They're males, you know, they go to meet and they're hung upside down and their ear to ear, throat slit. And the people doing this, they get messed up too. And we're voting for all of this to happen, and we don't have to. So it's a beautiful thing about this day and age. Me and you can have this beautiful conversation where this would never happen in any kind of other context.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. It made me think about it a lot more when my daughter was,
Yeah.
you know, she was like, we had nothing leather in it. I mean, we
Yeah.
were
Oh, she went
full
hardcore. Yeah.
hardcore, yeah. I got the tattoo and
Oh,
you know, not
gotcha.
me, her.
Oh, gotcha.
And
Gotcha.
got
Yeah.
the, you know.
Oh,
and-
she has a vegan tattoo?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't even have a vegan tattoo.
Yeah,
No,
when
that's
she
cool.
lived in New York, and
Oh,
so,
okay, gotcha. A lot of
so
vegan
what
culture
I
there
found,
too.
though, yeah, but what I found there is like some of the restaurants you would go to, I would like, this is not healthy.
Yeah.
I-
Well, some of the stuff they're doing.
Yeah, I was like, this isn't healthy. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
consuming a lot of fruits and vegetables and
Yeah.
grains and stuff, and is healthy.
Yeah. I would say, yeah, you can be healthy on both diets, right? But it's like given the choice of and it's kind of binary. Do I want to vote for systems of malevolence or just easily vote for systems of benevolence? Not saying they're perfect, because veganism is not perfect. Because everybody is going to incur some kind of death. But the least we can yield is their bodily autonomy. Wouldn't you say?
I would, yeah, I would.
Right? I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
you're vegan,
yeah.
and I
So
think it's
I
only a
would
matter
agree.
of time.
I agree with you.
And like on the nutrition thing, like my daughter's been vegan since birth. She thrives. She doesn't take vitamins, supplements. I mean, you can find the way to do it. Like Challenge 22 right here, it hooks you up with a free nutritionist. And I have my Vegan Sign Guy YouTube. If you go to James Durkin, it'll take you there. And this side is the side that is an hour-long speech. He's very entertaining. He's funny, and he's the one that turned me vegan 12 years ago. So if
I've done like knives and reports.
Sure, very familiar. I've met some of the people from the film. Yeah, and they're great. They're doing great things. But this is mainly about the animals and the animal outlook.
When you say vegan,
Yeah,
I don't think people know what that is.
exactly. That's why my first question kind of tries
Like
to.
when you say, why aren't you vegan?
Yeah.
Yet, I don't think they know.
Another approach is this, where we just kind of generally talk about animals, and then we just go into what about slaughterhouse animals. But
I mean, I think animals are going to die naturally.
with very elongated time horizons, but we just rob them of all that. We just say,
We have scavengers to eat them.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and stuff like that. But I just.
yeah, naturally it would happen, but we're playing God right now. You know, we're some of the stuff, and you might see links to some of it on there. I don't have graphic footage on these, but look it up because you want to know what you're paying for. You know, and these guys that are benefiting off of us, they're laughing at us because we're defending them when we're vehemently against veganism. Not you, because I know you have an open mind, but I guess that's the crux of everything. What's your name? Cammy, I'm Jimmy. Nice to formally meet you. But I just come out here from time to time. I've effectively blocked you the whole time, so you're good. I hope your sound bites are okay though, being over there. Any questions for me?
Well, no. I mean, just like I think food is our medicine.
Food is medicine,
Yeah.
absolutely.
What did you do with your daughter? Did she just nurse or?
She nursed, and then we used a plant-based formula, and that's it. I mean, if you're getting formulas in general, they're still coming from, they're coming derived from cows. So you're getting trace amounts of IGF-1, plaque-promoting cholesterol, all the stuff that's in dairy milk, trace amounts. But we use a plant-based formula, and she nursed. And then, I mean, she just eats she eats healthier than I do. She eats healthier than I do. I see. Yeah, and you could. It's.
Probably never had sugar.
She's had sugar. She's had sugar before.
I mean, like
But
cookies and.
yeah, no,
none of that
she's
stuff.
tempered. It's unbelievable.
Right,
It's like
yeah.
the perfect canvas to kind of launch a healthy person, I guess. But
Thanks for chatting.
yeah, thank you for chatting. Thanks for stopping, giving me some heat. Now people are like, what's going on over there?
Yeah, I know.
You know?
Yeah, well, yeah, you're welcome.
Oh, well, have a great day. Please do. Thank you. Have a good one. You do? Okay, come on over.
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm on YouTube Live. Are you okay with that?
Yes.
Okay, look at this awesome person coming up to my YouTube Live. So I have a thing here that says, why aren't you vegan yet? 3 quick questions. The first question is, what do you think veganism is?
As far as like.
As far as the
Actually?
definition, from your purview, what do you think it is?
Just-
Right off the cuff.
No animal products.
Okay, awesome. That is so integral, and that is such a part of it, right? What I like to do is kind of intercept it a little bit and just deconstruct it a little bit. So do your best, maybe right now, to take everything you've ever heard about veganism, just throw it away, just for our fleeting period of time that me and you were having, right? And I'll tell you what the actual definition is, and I'm distilling it because Donald Watson coined it in 1944, but all it is a stance against violence. And it's doing your best. It's not perfection. There's no appealing to nirvana, appealing to perfection. It's simply doing your best and it's a stance against violence. So the second question is, are you against animal abuse?
Yes, for sure.
Yes, okay. I rarely get a no on that one. And then the third one tees up, boom, it's natural, why aren't you vegan yet? Because your values are already vegan. And when I say abuse, let me amplify on something. What happens in agriculture is more than abuse. We're talking exploitation on a sexual level, we're talking kicking, spitting, we're talking hanging upside down, slitting throats. I mean, I'd call that more than abuse, right? Like that's a bit of an uptick. So the piggyback fourth question is, do you think we need anything nutritional from an animal?
No.
Oh my gosh, the first one to say no all day. Okay, thank you, you're accurate. Thank you. You need nothing nutritional from an animal, right? But we've all been told that ever since we've been born. 400 generations thick of propagandizing and lying to us, saying that we need meat, cheese, milk, and eggs for our health. So when you eat meat, you're eating plaque-promoting cholesterol, TMAO, saturated fat, hormones, IGF-1, cortisol, the list goes on and on. It's nothing but a net negative. So what would be the biggest thing stopping you from going vegan? Because you already are heart-wise.
Right. I think just like the process of doing it.
Yeah.
Just like starting over, I guess.
It's seemingly formidable, but it's seemingly. So if your why is strong enough and you convince yourself that it's something that you want to do to kind of be the change that you want to see in the world, you will find the alternatives. And you don't have to eat, plant-based burgers and plant-based pizzas. You can eat whole foods. You can eat beans, chickpeas, lentils. You can get all the protein you need from, where the protein comes from. Because you know where the protein comes from initially, right? It's from them, not the animals. So I think you're vegan. I think you're steps away. You're giving me no friction to go back on. So I mean, I appreciate your heart and stopping by.
I've considered it so many times.
Yeah,
so
yeah. Take this card. So you are the exact person that I'm going to be starting a new initiative in a few weeks. But you're the exact person that at this point I would take out the tablet. I'm getting a tablet, and it's just going to show footage of what you pay for when you pay for meat, cheese, milk, and eggs. Very simple, and just solidify it. Because I mean, if you get a chance, look up online some of these behind-the-scenes footages. It's disgusting.
Yeah,
it's abhorrent, and it's just the most cowardly shit you'll ever see. And you don't want to be someone that says, this is the change I want to see in the world. You know what I mean? Because that's what we're doing when we pay for it.
I'd love to have a conversation offline, but...
Oh, come on, man. A little accountability. Come on.
Well.
If you got the guts, let's step up.
I appreciate it.
What's your first name again?
Kayla.
Kayla, I'm Jimmy.
Kayla.
I really
Very nice
appreciate
to
you,
meet you.
and I appreciate you for listening. You might not agree.
I was listening. I just don't want to go live on like...
You don't have to. You're not on it. Your
what's
sound bites might be on it, but not you. Like, I got you all the way to the left.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll do it. I'll do it off camera.
Yeah, you're off camera right now.
Okay.
Well, what do you think? Like, what do you think about, I guess, what I just said?
So I hunt.
Okay. we're at an impasse right off the bat.
Yeah. I hunt. I hunt animals. I hunt ducks, geese, deer.
Okay. I won't
And
put that.
I think that a lot of the farming practices that are practiced today are inhumane.
Okay.
And I think that the reason for them is because of how many people you have to feed.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So
Yeah.
you have chickens and cows that are held in captivity that's like so small and it is inhumane.
Yeah. These are objects.
I agree with that. Farming practices are absolutely wrong.
Yeah. Do you have a dog or any pets?
I absolutely do. Yeah.
Would you agree that with your pets, there's someone behind those eyes, not just an automatron?
Yes,
or
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, from there, I know you've been doing it for a while, and you probably have your thoughts you've adopted on it, but it's just, the animals have the same sentient awareness.
Yeah.
And they have time horizons, where they can experience this beautiful earth, they can have families, they can have kids, they have pain sensors.
Yeah. Now, here's my thing. Like, for example, cows, right?
Yeah.
So let's just say the beef industry, which is one of the biggest ones.
Yeah.
So cows and a lot of large animals like that have more sentient awareness.
I got you. More of a bandwidth.
So if they were not to be farmed, let's say, their death would be awful compared to a quick.
Well, I would say like intercept right there. Like we're breeding them into existence unnaturally. Like we're not, they're all being bred into existence by supply and demand.
And that's to feed the masses, yeah.
Yeah, and do you know what the energy conversion ratio is of a cow? Like what it is on a ratio basis? So
to be honest, I don't.
this is, I think, something to consider. It's 8-to-1. So for every 8 units of energy a cow intakes on a food basis, it eats agriculture as well.
Sure.
It's going to output 1. So it's very inefficient. So we get rid of the whole animal machine. We become stewards of the planet, and we can feed masses on an 8 times basis.
And this is speaking out of ignorance because I really don't know.
Yeah.
But if you mow down and you create a
I feel like it's going to blow over.
go
ahead.
A soybean farm,
Yeah.
something like that, right?
Yeah.
Aren't you killing and ending the habitat of all these little creatures that were once living there?
Yeah.
Bird nests and chipmunks and squirrels and all these.
I'll even up you on that. I'll even say I'm killing all these plants too. I'm going to steelman your argument and concede that plants, as well as all these animals that we're killing, have a very robust experience. The snakes, the foxes, we're taking away all their lives on a very formidable aggregated basis. Now, I'll concede both of those, but whether you know it or not, you just made an argument for veganism even more.
Sure, okay.
90% of the corn, soy, wheat, it all goes to animal feed. Full stop. And because of that, all those same animals are getting
90%.
killed. 90% of corn, soy, and wheat.
No kidding.
90%, yeah.
Goes to
Feeding them.
livestock.
Yes.
Is that a fact?
Yes. I mean, you don't believe me? Do your own due diligence.
Again, I'm speaking out of ignorance.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But check it out. At least check it out. Just remember corn, soy, wheat. CSW.
So I'll give you a little backstory. So I mean, since I was a kid, I mean, I was gutting a deer when I was like 7 years old.
Yeah.
Skinning it and gutting it and butchering it.
Yeah.
Right. So it's very much the opposite of what you stand for, I guess. But
and you were taught that though, right? Like who taught you to do that?
Yes, I was.
It was probably your dad, I guess. Or...
Yeah. Well, my family. Yeah. We have a hunting club.
Gotcha.
And I'm not against what you stand for at all.
Yeah.
You know, and there were some traumatizing aspects of it, like
right.
You know, for example, seeing the deer die.
Yeah.
Having to cut it open and skin it and butcher it, right?
Yeah. And you get used to that, unfortunately.
And it was like, oh my God. But you know, it's kind of like in my opinion, it opened my eyes up to the just natural circle of life. Right?
And that whole circle of life thing is framed by initiatives. Like these control narratives that want us to believe all these arguments to veganism, it's all framed by them. Like they want us to go around saying, circle of life, it's natural, caveman did it. They want this to happen. And while we are like arguing with that sentiment, they're laughing because their bank accounts just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
So I will say that being like a hunter and stuff, it made me have an appreciation for it, because the next time I ate chicken nuggets or a burger or a steak, it made me realize I'm eating the flesh of another animal that was once alive.
Yeah.
And that was pretty eye-opening for me.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I give you a card? Did I give you? Okay. You guys are together, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. You are, right? Yeah. Okay. Check out the resources. I appreciate the conversation, but you know, I think you're very passionate about your position. It's going to be futile for me to kind of appeal to that right now, but maybe check out the resources. And I guess I would leave you with just think animal outlook. I mean, we can make all these little things and say all these little things. Oh, we're population control, you name it. But animal outlook is always going to kind of eclipse all the arguments, because we can't make a judgment for someone else's intrinsic value. Only they can. We can dominate and we can bully, but it's up to you if you think that's right.
And I think it's detrimental for either side to bully.
Yeah.
You know, I think somebody saying, well, you're vegan, you're a sissy, or whatever, and it's like, no, that's not.
Yeah.
They
it's a choice, right? It's a choice, right?
It absolutely
so
is.
Let me frame this. Let me touch on this. So it's a choice if you want to eat meat, and it's a choice if you want to be vegan, right? There's another choice factor. What do you think that choice factor is? It's the choice of the animal.
Yeah, I know. I guess it breaks down to whether or not you want to
The impasse, I think, is you have to really consider animals sentient beings with awareness. If you, like, I can feel out you right now that that's the palpable impasse we have. Like, we have to consider them sentient beings with awareness. Like you said, you had a dog. That's why that's the first question I asked you. And if you agreed there was someone behind those eyes. So right off, that is your position, like on a reflexive basis. But you have, we're navigating around the argument with all these kind of whatabouts.
I tell her, jokingly, because her favorite animal is a cow.
Oh, that's cool.
And
Yeah.
So when she eats a burger, I say, yeah, that's the chopped up cow.
Yeah.
It's like my own selfish reasons.
Yeah.
Stop. And I think about it quite frequently, being that my favorite animal is a cow.
Yeah.
So I get it.
And the thing is, yeah, go ahead.
See, I think also what's detrimental to like your movement is,
Yeah.
is the fact that a lot of the replacements are processed.
The whole rhetoric's not doing anything good. I agree with that.
Have chemicals that people are scared of just as much as,
Yeah.
as meat products, if not more.
That whole rhetoric, that's why I've kind of tilted my approach recently when that comes up. And I tell people they don't have to eat that stuff. They can eat whole food, plant-based. You can make mushroom burgers. You can make burgers from, veggies, and then you can use the fixins to season sauce.
One of my favorite things is wild mushrooms. Oh my God, I love them.
Let's go. I mean, that mushroom, thank, God for mushrooms because they're so malleable. But what was I going to say?
Does mushrooms have protein though?
They have a fair amount, not like relative to their origin. They're not like loaded with protein like beans or chickpeas or lentils. But the amount of protein you need on a daily basis, like for a female, it's around 35 to 40 grams. For a male, it's like 50 to 60. But we're all told that it's got to be like 150. And if you're bodybuilding, it's 250. I did that because I think someone's listening to me granularly right now.
You look pretty fit yourself.
Oh, I've been vegan 12 years. I don't take vitamins, supplements, and I think, what's been said.
Where do you get like most of your like groceries and things? Like where do you?
Trader Joe's, Whole Foods.
I feel like Trader Joe's is the best bet for that kind of thing. I mean, I eliminate it for the most part, honestly.
No, here's another thing also though about veganism specifically is butter, right?
Okay.
So
butter and milk is where I struggle.
So one of my big things is seed oils.
Yeah.
Seed oils are, the aleoic.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
A lot of it comes from rapeseed. Rapeseed's like getting the worst reputation out of all of them.
Exactly.
Canola oil.
And so,
But you don't have to eat stuff like that. You don't have to eat that at all.
And so, where to get your oils from?
Well, you can just
Fats.
you can have olive oil if you want.
Olive
And
oil.
fats are ubiquitous throughout the plant
So,
kingdom.
My kitchen is mostly olive oil and avocado oil.
Yeah, but I mean, just think nutritionally, you don't need anything from an animal at all. Like the basis that argument is, it's just kind of full stopped as of recently. There's a lot of like last minute struggles, like B12 though, protein though, iron though.
Yeah, and see, I think again, just from the start of our conversation, that I think is really interesting is somebody like me whose family has a hunting club.
Yeah.
We literally kill animals. And I think a misconception is that it's like, it's for sport or it's for just killing animals. I mean, it's not. There is a respect for the animal's life, but
It's tough because do you think you can respect somebody if you take their life, against their will?
That is
Yeah.
a big debate.
Yeah,
Now,
it's an extrinsic value versus intrinsic value.
And see, one thing that I feel like you and I have common ground on
Yeah.
is that the general masses have a misconception of appreciation for life. Because me, I've watched an animal die.
Yeah.
And it was traumatizing for me, but I do have an appreciation for it, whereas your general public, right, does not. So,
Yeah.
when I was a little kid, I went goose hunting, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I shot a goose, and it didn't die.
Yeah.
It kept flapping.
Yeah.
Well, we sent a dog out to go get it. It
Yeah.
brought it back.
Yeah.
And then it was still flapping. And then he twisted its head like 10 times, and it was still flapping. And then I was told, hey, hand me the knife. And then he cut its head off,
Yeah.
and it was still flapping.
Yeah. It's
it-
insane, but you wouldn't have had to do any of that if you didn't shoot him in the first place. You know what I mean?
No, I'm not trying to give you like a horror story.
Yeah. But I see what you're saying. You kind of gave you a very up close and personal,
it gave me an appreciation
palpable
for,
feel
for
of what was
is
going
the
on.
natural cycle of life, and so that's where I feel like you and I have common ground, is because you and I have appreciation for an animal's life.
Yeah,
And
and
so I don't eat meat thinking, well, it's just eating.
Yeah.
No, well, it was once a living animal.
Yeah.
And I understand that.
I get it.
Your average person does not understand that.
Yeah, I would be disingenuous if I didn't say that I would starkly disagree that, you could respect an animal while killing it. Like, as you're lamenting. I would be disingenuous if I didn't make that posturing.
I get it, and that's something that I have, I wouldn't say struggled with, but I really have a respect for it, and I have a respect for what you do. I mean,
Yeah.
and what you stand for, because it is.
I'll leave you guys with this. Just listen to your heart. Like, that's it. We're all born as vegans. We're just all born as animal lovers. We're just taught through the conditioning that eating meat, cheese, milk, and eggs is all normal, necessary, nice.
Milk and cheese being the biggest.
Yeah, and dairy's even worse than beef.
Well,
the industry.
I think it's weird when you think about it.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
That so much of our diet comes from another animal's udders.
It grows
right?
up to be 800 pounds, and it looks
Well,
nothing like
well,
us,
well, that's not our milk. That is another animal's milk. That's weird.
At least you gave me that.
That's weird.
Yeah. Well, tell you what, guys. I think I'm going to move locations for my last 15 minutes. I appreciate your time, and nice to meet you too. Check out the resources. Just think from the animal outlook. That's all I ask. Moving forward.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It was very nice.
100%. You guys enjoy the rest of your day.
Again,
Oh, you did? Thank you so
I
much.
do think it's funny that people
Subscribe, everybody.
on completely opposite sides of the spectrum actually have the common ground, versus the people in the middle that are that are just ignorant.
Conversations won't happen unless we realize that me and you, we're all interconnected. These conversations won't happen, so I appreciate you guys.
Sure thing.
Well, have a great day. You too. You guys have a great day.
I might have a vegan burger today.
That's us. He just said he's going to have a vegan burger today. Maybe.
No, I will.
He said he will. All right, we're going to hold you to it. All right, take care, guys. We're going to move for our last conversation, or last 15 minutes or so, to another location. I think I want to go to the bottom of the street. Let's just see what kind of juice we got left. We got 39%. Time horizon, 96 minutes. I got 24 minutes, guys. Anyway, what did you guys think of that conversation? I thought they were nice, but like I pointed out, as an activist, and I think all activists should use their intuition, I could detect a palpable impasse where it's kind of futile for me to go on. I tried to sever ties a little bit, but things just kind of went on for a little bit. But I think we said the things that needed to be said, and spoke some truth. Trying to cross the street here. We're going to go to location number 3 for more interviews, so follow me. Thanks for being here, guys. Nice and chilly out. Oh, I can see somebody just in big letters. N-E-A-T. Nice move. Anyway. Yes, living does not mean sentient. Like I was saying, I'm just going to start agreeing with people with this whole plants have feelings thing, and then educating on how when they say that, they're defending veganism. I'm just done with the disingenuousness, because it's so disingenuous when someone says plants have feelings. They don't mean that. They're just trolling. God, that guy's still painting over there? Unbelievable. All right, well, he's got my spot, guys. Let's see if maybe I'll just post up here for a little bit. Looks like I'll have to. This is where I ended up last time. All my spots are popular right now, apparently. All right, if you're just getting here, we're doing some vegan outreach today. My name's James, and we're asking people why they are not vegan yet. Yeah, So it's been a pretty productive day as far as getting people to talk, opening people up a little bit, and kind of delving into, our values and having these conversations, which, are very few and far between when you're back in that 99% non-vegan inertia. How's it going, guys? Guys, want to try a few questions for YouTube? Put you on the spot? Just test your values. All right. Have a good day, guys. Okay, I can actually see the chat now. Oh, thanks, Atira. I appreciate you. Many deer. Okay, what kind of exercise routine do you have to get that 80-year-old teenage body? I mean, I don't think I'm that bad, am I? I don't know. I'm pretty lean and mean. I could probably smoke you on the track. Hi, guys. How's it going? You want to try a few questions for YouTube? Test your values? All right. Good day, guys. I'm a distance runner. I mean, I don't see what you're talking about there. People love to get really brave behind the other end of a keyboard. It's cute. Grow a native plant. Asking people not to eat meat. Yes, that's what we're doing. We are asking people not to eat meat. You guys want to try a few questions for YouTube? Put you on the spot?
I'm sorry, man.
Just test your values a little bit. That's it. All right. Let's be real men. Come on, guys. Oh, second chance, guys. Have a good one. Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. The dairy industry, there's a lot of questions, though, there. A lot of questions. A lot going on. And the cow's milk's definitely objectively not healthy. You're already there on like the meat level. Like the cow's milk is not healthy.
And I actually don't buy milk for my family. I make
Yeah.
it from almonds or cashews because milk.
Well, that's
grosses me
vegan.
out.
That's vegan milk.
It is.
Yeah.
I think out of convenience, I end up buying like cheese and stuff, and like
Yeah.
going out to eat is really hard.
It's
but
yeah.
We're very we're almost there.
Yeah, the reason I'm doing it is doing this dynamic, which is eyebrow raising when you walk by, like, what the heck is that guy doing? It's because there are no sound outlets. Everything is mainstream owned, and we can't affect anything if we can't outreach people. And most people have vegan values because we're against abuse. And the dairy industry is full of it. If you look into the dairy industry and what happens to these girls, the female cows, it's insane. But yeah, I know you're trying to catch up with your family. Would you take a card if I gave you one of my cards?
Yes.
If I didn't forget it over there, because I'm just now realizing that I might have forgot it.
Oh, okay.
And if I did forget it, my channel name is Vegan Sign Guy.
Okay.
It's easy to remember, right?
Yes.
And I just come out here talking to people. I left it over there.
Okay.
Son of a gun.
Vegan sign guy.
Vegan Sign Guy,
Okay.
and you'll notice, you'll see me. I'm in all the interviews. I'm the guy
Okay.
interviewed, but
Okay.
definitely stuff to think about. And it's like, I mean, my kid's vegan, and she loves everything she eats.
Yeah.
She loves it, and it's so possible in this day and age. You'll hear,
It really is. It's the easiest to be vegan that it's ever been. And
yeah, you'll hear a lot of rhetoric saying you need this, 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 and this. Don't believe any of it. I don't take vitamins and supplements. She doesn't either. We eat calories.
Yeah.
That's all we do.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome. Do you have any? Yeah, plant-based for the win. And it's like this ethical, this deep ethos that just transcends everything too.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
all of a sudden, it's like your actions are aligned with your values, and that's like the change you're imbuing into the world.
Yeah.
So awesome. What's your first name?
Stay strong, Stephanie.
Stephanie, I'm Jimmy.
Nice to
Thanks
meet
for having
you.
the bravery to talk to me.
Okay.
And check out the channel
I will.
for sure. Have a good one. I'm back, everybody. All right, what do we at here, guys? I do have to get my car in like 10 minutes. I'm going for the full amount of time. I need hour and 10 because I think my time will be up at an hour and 10. It's been a pleasure, everybody. I hope some people have learned some things today. I hope you've listened a little bit. I just want everybody to know that this whole argument is not against, this whole initiative is not against you. It is against the argument which we have all adopted since 400 generations ago, where we were told that you have to eat meat and animal products for health. A lie. A thick, deceptive, disgusting, festering lie. And we're out here to destroy that argument and to hopefully convince people of their vegan values and how to really materialize them into the world. So that's our whole MO. You're going to be here and you're going to Your objection, you won't say it. I mean, you might make fun of me. You might say meat a million times. You might call me an 80-year-old or whatever that other guy did. But the objection that you have, you're not going to say it. But I know what it is. And it's freedom. Because you think that we are trying to take something away from you fundamentally. And I'm here to tell you that that's exactly the opposite of what we're trying to do. We are trying to amplify your freedom and get you to stop voting with your energy for aberrant systems that you do not believe in. And said systems steal the sovereignty of others, steal their purposes, steal their time horizons, steal their bodily autonomy. And we can never be free if we're stealing all that stuff from others. It will boomerang back to us. And whether you know it or not, you are far from free if you're not vegan. I think I'm going to wrap it up there, guys. I don't see too much traffic at this point. It's been a pleasure hanging out with everybody. We've had a lot of interviews. We've had a lot of action. We've seen some hunters today. We've seen some veg-curious people. We've seen some young kids with massively open minds. And I think we've done some good work out here. So, please support the channel. Leave a comment on one of the shorts. Check out my shorts. Check out my interviews with Dr. Jonathan Balcombe and Dr. Will Tuttle. And let's be vegan. Let's be vegan for the animals, our fellow humans, and the plants. All right, everybody. Have a great day. Aw, thank you, Brexon. Oh, what is this? Wait a second. The reason why hunters respect vegans is because they act on their convictions aside from meat eaters. Condemning, here's my hunter. Right? Yeah. That guy did imbue some respect to me, but he doesn't respect the animals, unfortunately, which was the crux of our whole conversation. So hopefully he'll realize that later on the line. I do appreciate the donation. I will be using that to shore up my resources. I think I'm getting a tablet soon and a sticker for my microphone. So I really appreciate your support. But there's no respect in killing. That's a full stop. You can't respect anything if you're killing it. Full stop. We somehow got to get people thinking on this wavelength, because that's what their heart will tell them as well. But there's a lot of culture out there that eclipses things far and wide. Thanks, guys, for joining. Love you guys. We'll definitely see you in the next stream. All right, bye, everybody. Have a great vegan day. Bye, guys.